Alright guys, while arguing with people on Twitter about the election is actually quite fun. And it just goes to show how much the left actually doesn't know about what's going on. It's not getting my videos done, so the second video for the day, let's talk about some fake news. Because the Washington Post, the New York Times, Vice, and even, I think it was the Washington Examiner, have all gone out and fell for fake news from the House. Who would have thought the Democratic-run House might have pushed out some fake news? So let's break it all down. What did these three say? Now, some of these have been recanted already. There's more backpedaling going on from these 4 or 5 major, well, I wouldn't say Vice is major, but there's been more backpedaling going on from the mainstream media right now than anyone doing a backstroke contest. It is literally funny to watch all these people trip over themselves trying to delete articles. So, before we refresh these pages, we're going to tell you what they say, then we're going to refresh and we're going to see what the argument is, whether they've changed it or not. So, Washington Post, you're up first because welcome to fake news. Postal worker recants allegations of ballot tampering, officials say. Do they now? So a Pennsylvania postal worker whose claims have been cited by top Republicans as a potential evidence of widespread irregularities admits to U.S. Postal Service investigators that he fabricated the allegations. According to 3 officials briefed on the investigation in a statement from the House Congressional Committee, the one the Republicans don't own, by the way, but, you know, still. Richard Hopkins, it's run by the Democrats, the House, right? At the moment, at least, anyway. Richard Hopkins claims that postmaster in Erie, Pennsylvania, instructed postal workers to backdate ballots mailed after the election day was cited. By the way, guys, this story is going to get scary as you know what, so hold on. But anyway, so they're going through and they're just basically telling you what we've already told you. He was, you ever heard people talking about backdating and stuff like that? That's, we've already covered this already. That stuff's, I'll put a link in the end card for that. That's not the important thing. Now, they're claiming that he recanted it. So let's refresh. Okay, still there. Washington Post, your fake news. All right, let's go to Vice. GOP post office election fraud whistleblower just took it all back. Now, this one was only put out an hour ago. So, yeah, let's see how this one goes. House Democrats say that during a conversation with the investigator, the Pennsylvania UPS employee recanted his story about the ballot tampering. Refresh. That one's still there too. Vice News, your fake news. Don't worry, we're going to show you the evidence to prove these are all fake in a minute. UPS employee alleges ballot fraud in Pennsylvania, recants claims. The Washington Examiner. It's lovely to watch all these mainstream media articles, isn't it? They're so trustworthy. So, updated. Oh, they've updated this one. Oh, I wonder what they've added to this. A Pennsylvania postal worker recanted allegations of ballot fraud according to the House Committee by Democrats. Richard Hopkins, same guy, they're not talking about anybody else here, identified as a U.S. postal employee in Erie who signed a sworn affidavit, claimed the postal supervisor officials hatched a plan to backdate ballots. Now, I don't know if... Okay, so you actually have to scroll. This is what they've added right down here. You have to actually go down to the bottom. Okay, Washington Examiner, not to tell you how to run your newspaper or anything, but maybe if you've got evidence to back up the fact that the title is misleading, maybe you should change that too, right? After receiving the affidavit, Project Veritas, an investigative reporter, has mixed recordings on its sting operations over the years. We have recordings of the federal agents who coerced this man through a 4-hour interrogation. That's the scary thing we'll get to in a sec. O'Keefe then shared a short clip of a man who identified himself as Hopkins, saying he did not recant his statement. But the tweet was later deleted and replaced. Another tweet had a video with a purported audio snippet of the interview with federal agents, as well as Hopkins replying in the affidavit when asked by O'Keefe if he still stood by his assertion that he had a blah, 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 blah. So they're literally turning around saying, hey, this guy recanted his statement, but when you read further down the statement, down the newspaper article, it literally contradicts that. So why have you not updated the heading? Why is this still saying this? Why is it that right down the bottom... Oh, wait, that's because people don't bother reading that far down, right? Here's another one. UPS whistleblower denies report he recanted voter fraud claims. Now, obviously, the New York Post actually came out with this story in the first place and actually then had to recant it and is now having to recant it. So... yeah, at least they're doing a somewhat decent job of trying to keep up with the news. But he said, the same day Washington Post reports that Hopkins had admitted to investigators that he made up all the allegations, which is just factually inaccurate. In a tweet saying he did not recant in his own tweet, and also Project Veritas has also gone through and put up the video as well. The Washington Times. Pennsylvania postal worker denies recanting ballot tampering claims. Richard Hopkins says, I feel like I just got played by federal investigators. Hours after Democrat House announced Pennsylvania Poco had recanted allegations of ballot tampering, the mail carrier denied it, saying that he stands by his original statement and that he got played by federal investigators. Richard Hopkins, a mail carrier in Erie, Pennsylvania, said the video released on Chute by Pedro voters that he never intended to recant his claims of possible voter fraud after being grilled by investigators for the Postal Post Service. I'm right in the very moment and looking at the article written by the Washington Post that says that I fabricated the allegations of ballot tampering, said in the video tweet. I am here to say that did not recant my statements. That did not happen. That's not what happened. So, here's the video from Project Veritas. Guys, we are just going to play this. It goes for 2 minutes.
They were grilling the hell out of me.
How are you?
Listen to how this guy has been treated by federal agents, mind you.
Feeling right now?
I'm kind of pissed. I feel like I just got played.
And I heard him say to the supervisor that they messed up yesterday. I was like, oh, what did they mess up on? And he told the supervisor that they had postmarked one of the ballots for the 4th instead of the 3rd, because they were supposed to put them for the 3rd.
And so let me make good on that.
Now, this is the UPS office of IG. This is the supposedly the investigators from the UPS. Listen to what they have to say.
Promise right away. Okay, this storm is getting crazy, right? And it's out of a lot of people's control. And so the reason they called me in is to try to harness that storm, try to reel it back in before it gets really crazy. Okay?
I understand.
Because we have senators involved, we have the Department of Justice involved, we have
Trump's lawyers team's gotten a hold of me.
I'm not, well, I am actually. I am trying to twist you a little bit because in that, believe it or not, your mind will kick in.
Okay.
We like to control our mind, and when we do that, we can convince ourselves of a memory. But when you're under a little bit of stress, which is what I'm doing to you purposely, your mind can be a little bit clearer. And we're going to do a different exercise too to make your mind a little bit clearer. Okay?
Good to go.
So, but this is all on purpose.
Roger.
I'm not scaring you, but I am scaring you here.
It seems like they were trying to make me
I'm not scaring you, but I am scaring you, okay? I'm not scaring you, but I am scaring you, okay? I'm not trying to twist your words, but I'm twisting your words here. This is literally this is what Orwell said in his thing about doublespeak. Like, no, it's one or the other, okay? You can't do both things. And I find it really interesting that they seem more interested in reeling back these claims than they do wanting to investigate it. That's just the way I perceive it. I perceive this as them being more worried about what is going on than actually investigating the claims. But let's keep going.
Trust y'all. And at the same time, it kind of affected, but at the same time, I was like, no, these guys have had my back since the get-go. So that's why I continued.
Do you think these federal agents have your back?
At this point, no. Hell
Do you
no.
think these federal agents are really interested in investigating fraud?
Honestly, I don't think they are.
And in fact, you heard Weisenberg tell a supervisor they were backdating the ballots to make it appear they've been collected on November 3rd. You still stand by that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so there it is. That was a video put out by Project Veritas. He is not recanting his statement at all. The Washington Post, the New York Times, the Washington Times, all these Vice articles, all these people claiming that he's recanting. You are fake news. And just to triple down, we're not doubling down now, we are tripling down on it. Here is his own statement put up on Twitter.
My name is Richard Hopkins. I am the postal employee who came out and whistle blew on the Erie, PA Postal Service, postal office. I am right at this very moment looking at a article written by Washington Post. It says that I fabricated the allegations of ballot tampering. I'm here to say that I did not recant my statements. That did not happen. That is not what happened. And you will find out tomorrow. And I would like that the Washington Post recant their wonderful little article that they decided to throw out there, out of random.
Now, obviously, the Washington Post is not the only people that have obviously ran with this story. Obviously, the Washington Post is still sticking to this. They're still sticking to it, you know, like, let's just do it. That they still have not updated this. Okay, so they are really doubling down on this argument. Vice, let's just refresh this. Not okay. So they're not taking it back. Some have, some haven't. It really is. Yeah, it's showing it up. Like if you go through and search for this guy's name, it's Richard Hopkins, by the way. And by the way, Trump even tweeted out what a hero this guy is. So yeah. But if you go through like news, accuses media of trying to railroad Pennsylvania, Richard Hopkins. The Washington Post lied. The postal whistleblower did not recant. Yeah, pretty much. Trump parrot, postal worker flip-flops on... Yeah, right, the Independent. Okay. UPS whistleblower denies the report. Erie postal worker making up Pennsylvania, but so CBS Pittsburgh is still running with this 4 hours ago. Let's see if that's still open. The postal worker recounted allegations 13 hours ago. We've checked that one. That's still there. Post office worker. Do you see why Trump might call you the enemy of the people? Do you get this? Do you get why people hate you so much? Erie postal worker admits making up Pennsylvania officials say. O'Keefe shared a video on Twitter Tuesday night of Hopkins claiming he didn't recant. So this is obviously once you go down to the very bottom of the article once again, it's still listed down there as a, yeah, but it's still got the heading. Erie post worker admits making it up. But he didn't admit making it up. Your title is literally false. You're fake news. I don't care if you stick it right down the bottom. Oh, by the way, he mightn't have actually recanted because your heading actually says that he didn't recant. Jesus Christ, will you get this shit right? No wonder people hate you. No wonder Trump calls you fake news. No wonder the trust in the mainstream media is at an all-time rocket bottom. It's because at the end of the day, you can't even get facts straight. You can't even get your own headline right. This is why people turn to people like me. This is why people say a guy in his basement, or it's not a basement, but a spare room, with an avatar of a raccoon seemingly does a better job of mainstream media. It's because guess what? I do! You are fake! You're all fake! Go get a job. Go learn to code. Because at the end of the day, you obviously don't know how to do your job. You don't know how to write a headline. You don't know how to do a newspaper article. You are fake news. Just go to learn code. Just code. Will you just... Mainstream media? Just F off. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Don't forget to obviously retweet this video, share this video. Let's just show the mainstream media for the bunch of morons that they are. Because at the end of the day, I'm so over this fake news. I really, really am. Apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. Third video coming up later. I'm going to try and find a happy story to talk about. But I saw this and it made my blood boil. It really, really did. Have a great night and enjoy.